Hello all of you awesome people out there, and welcome back to another super awesome and mega wicked cool video done by myself, Disowned Hero. And today I'm going to be showing you guys something I tend to do when I get a little bit bored and just want to kill a bit of time for maybe an hour or two. And to be honest, it can be a good way of making ISK as well. And today we're going to be acting like a sort of a cleanup crew. We're going to be going around space, we're going to be collecting junk and blowing up left behind things such as MTUs and mobile depots. So I'm in my Legion here, and I'll just have a quick look at the fitting, show you guys exactly what I've got on here. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 heavy assault missile launcher 2s, Covert Ops Cloak, and a Sisters expanded probe launcher. You'll need the expanded one because you need combat scanner probes for this. In the mids we have a Shadow Serpentis Warp Scram, a Stasis Webifier II, 10 MN Afterburner II. In the lows we've got a medium ancillary armor repairer, ballistic control system, energized adaptive nanomembrane, 2 of them, damage control 2, and a ballistic control system 2, and a few bits and bobs here as well. I'll link the fit in the description down below if you do want to check it out. It's got some drones of us as well. And that's pretty much it. So the plan is we're going to undock. I'm in a different part of New Eden than what I'm usually in, but we're sticking to high sec. That's where people tend to do a lot of mission running and stuff and leave MTUs behind. And yeah, hopefully we'll find some good stuff and blow up a few MTUs and well, just see how it goes. But before I undock, I just want to give out a special mention to Evocations. He is a YouTuber who does a lot of EVE Online stuff. He used to be pretty big. I used to love him. Used to even go on fleets and that with him when he was live streaming, but he's took a bit of a break and he is back. So I'll have his channel linked in the description down below. So if you want to check him out, which I strongly suggest you should, yeah, just have a look in the description and give him a sub. So without anything else, let's undock and go find some things to shoot at. Alright, so here we are. I've jumped into a 0.5 system. It tends to be the lower systems, obviously, where people tend to go looking for missions, rats and stuff. So this is more likely to be a good place to find left behind MTUs and drones. Ideally, we want the MTUs. They tend to be quite profitable. And in fact, I was doing this yesterday, I think it was. And the first one I popped was this one. And EVE Online reckons it was 17.9 mil, but Zkill said it dropped to 28 million. So that was an easy pickup for me for that one. And then I managed to go into the next system, pick up 5 Fed Navy Hobgoblins worth about $1 mil each. And also this one, which dropped, not too much, maybe $1 mil or 2 in loot from there. So that was probably, what, say 30, 35 mil in 20 minutes. So it can be quite profitable, but I tend to do this usually when I'm a little bit bored. You know, maybe it's time to hit the sack, but you don't want to go to bed yet. You're not quite got enough time to commit to, say, running new missions or taking part in anything major. So you just want to kill a little bit of time, so this is the perfect way to do it. So I'll keep all the scanning and everything on this screen, although the combat scanner probes pretty much work the same way as normal probes, except for what you want to do first is launch them in spread formation. And you want to cover the entire system because ships, deployables, drones, they will not appear by default like normal anomalies do. So first we want to scan absolutely everything down. That'll bring up all the dots and X's and stuff. And hopefully we'll get some deployables pop up here. If not, I'll be looking for drones which are nowhere near any other ships, in which case they've been left behind, they've been forgotten about, and they're soon to be mine. So here we have one ship, which makes sense. There's actually 2 people in the local. We've got one ship at 55 AU, and we seem to have a lot of drones down here at about 35 AU. So I'm going to go for these, no deployables, unfortunately. My default is set to show ships only and deployables such as mobile depots and MTUs. It won't show citadels or anything else like that because, well, they're just a little bit pointless to me. So what I need to do now is just use this like it was normal probes and just start scanning things down. So I'll fast forward this bit and we'll see what we managed to get. And there we go, already we've got 5 Acolyte 2s. So what we're going to do now is simply warp to them at 0 since we've fully scanned them down. Now scanning drones down can be particularly difficult. You can see I've had to go to the minimum probe size there, and a few times I've even had to do custom, moving the probes around to actually get an accurate, well, to be able to warp to them. So yeah, good scanning skills would be good, especially if you're going for the drones. If you're going for any of the mobile depots, that tends to be a bit easier, and the MTUs. But yeah, definitely good scanning skills for this one. So I always have my cloak on because the idea here is we're looking for MTUs. So most of the time you're going to be suspect. And once you get used to warping around systems, especially in high sec as suspect, it becomes quite easy. As long as you stay away from the main trade routes where people are sitting on gates with like super fast tackle waiting to grab things. You know, warping around in a Legion like this anyway, you know, you hardly, very rarely get stopped in court. And I'm in a Legion anyway, so most people who are sitting there, you usually don't want to take a Legion on, so I'm generally okay. So I'm just going to start grabbing these and pulling them into my cargo hold. We'll go for that one first, and then that one, and that one, excuse me, and that one, and lastly that one. So there we go, that was all of about 2 or 3 minutes work, and we have already got 2 mil. Not massively headlines breaking the bank kind of money, but it's better than nothing, so I'll take it. So I'm just going to scan down again and see if we can find anything else. There we go. Straight back to the spread formation, and let's make it big enough to cover the entire system, and we'll scan down again. Now, I don't think there was anything else here, so we'll just simply move on to the next system and see what else we can find. Now, you want to try and stay towards areas where you know there's missions. Maybe there's a lot of agents, people running that area. But I don't really know MR too well. I didn't really want to do it around Caldari space because, well, I was there yesterday and pretty much grabbed everything I could. So we've got one ship at 16 AU with what looks like his 2 drones. Excuse me, maybe. I've got a bit of a cold, by the way, so if my voice keeps going funny, then I apologise. I'm doing the best I can. But yeah, I've got a ship here at 16, so that drone's probably his. Another ship here at 11, so they'll be his as well. So that's pretty much it for this system. Let's just simply jump through to another one. Let's go through to Para and have a look at what's in there. I'm hoping to find an MTU. I'd be surprised if I don't after like 2 or 3 systems, so I should at least find one. And what you can do as well is bear in mind, so I should put this out to begin with, if you attack an MTU in high sec, you will go suspect, which means other players can attack you freely. So you don't want to be warping into where there's a huge gang running missions in battleships and start shooting at their MTU, because they'll simply just turn around and start opening fire. So be mindful of that. What I was about to say is I usually look for them on their own, but occasionally, depending on what ship is actually with the MTU, I will attack it whilst the ship is there. For example, if there's, say, a coercer running missions and they've dropped an MTU for whatever reason, I'll warp in, usually cloaked, have a look around, get close to the M2 and be like, right, nothing on D-scan, doesn't know if he's got any friends here. Let's just attack his MTU, because he's not going to attack me. What he's going to have to do then is just simply run back as fast as he can to pick it up. Obviously, if you are suspecting someone does attack you, you are free then to shoot back at them. So yeah, if you do go suspect, just keep that in mind, you can be shot at. Alright, so I've got to keep an eye on local because I am part of faction warfare and I don't want to be jumping into people who can attack me anyway. I don't have a safe in this system, so what we'll do is we will... not really much in here, is there? Let's just head towards this. We'll drop our probes here so I can start scanning straight away. And we won't jump through it, sorry. We'll just simply warp to it at, say, 100 and make a quick safe. And there we go, we're going to our safe. Now, the reason I actually drop my probes first is means I can cloak up straight away and not have to uncloak to launch them, especially if you suspect. That's quite handy to do rather than cloak and uncloak and cloak and uncloak. And this is quite a small system, so probably the formation it's defaulted to, which is 16 AU, will be fine. So let's have a quick scan around. There is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 people in local, including myself, so hopefully someone here has been daft enough to leave an MTU or something behind. Right, so we've got drones belonging to this ship. We then have lots of drones here between 10 and 5. These can't all belong to him, so I'm going to say maybe this one here isn't. So let's scan down this group and see what we've got again. Still no deployables, which is a shame. That's ideally what I'm looking for when I wanted to show you guys. But hopefully we'll find one soon. Alright, so I think we've managed to clear this system out. It only had drones in it, Nothing majorly expensive or important. We'll just have one last quick scan. But it couldn't have took me more than, say, well, it feels like 10, maybe 15 minutes at the most. And we managed to get, let's just stack all these. We already had the 4 acolytes. We now have another 2 single acolytes. Also Tech 1, 3 Tech 1 Hoblins, 1 Tech 1 Hornet, which aren't important. These things, however, we managed to find 4 Republic fleets, and they're 1.2 mil estimated each. So again, where's me? There it is. Yeah, there's nothing else left in this system. So again, nothing majorly expensive, but we're making it. It's going to be honest, I usually just throw all these drones in like a fleet hangar so people can just pick at them whenever they want. I mean, I'll probably sell the Republic fleet ones because, well, they're a little bit fancy, aren't they, just to be given away for free. So we'll just simply jump through to the next system, which I'm going to think is, which way do we come from? Maybe, I can't remember which way we came now. Let's just jump back into this one. And yeah, we came from Hibby, so let's jump into this one and see if we can find anything in there. Like I said, I'm looking for the MTUs, and if you're really lucky, sometimes if someone fails the site and has the ship blowing up, their own MTU will pick up the well, all the loot and everything at the ship they died in, and they can contain some tasty loot. So that's ideally what I'm looking for. Plus, it's fun to blow things up, even if you don't get kill marks or credit or anything for it, and you're considered a bit of an ass. But hey, I'm bored. If you're going to leave things in space, I'm going to shoot at them. So let's jump through and see what else we can find. This might be a short video if I don't find anything, so I'm not planning on doing this all night. Just wanted to do it for like 20 minutes odd and show you guys, you know, that there is a little bit of this to be had, and there is a few things you can do on EVE Online if you haven't got hours and hours and hours to spend playing. So we have only one person in this system. I do not have a bookmark, so again, I'm just going to add no. Let's just head towards here, shall we? Let's drop our probes first. Did I actually pick my probes up from the last system? Yeah, I must have. We'll warp to here within 100, and we'll make a... Make sure I'm not at war with anyone here. No, I'm not. And we'll make a bookmark on the way. So there we go. Warp within 100. It's just habit for me to warp to things within 100. Get our cloak on, and then we can start scanning things down. So let's make sure, again, you want to cover the entire system. All these little belts, that gate's not in there. Get them in there. Even go one bigger if you want to. It doesn't really matter if you go too big. It might just mean one extra scan to actually pinpoint things down. It's nothing major. Did I actually make a bookmark? I'm forgetting what I'm doing. I didn't even make the bookmark. Ah! There we go. I have now. Let's just rename that while I remember to safe. Otherwise I'll be thinking, what the heck was that? And we actually have a deployable on scan, so hopefully this is going to be an MTU. If not, we're just going to be reinforcing a mobile depot, which can be fun, but to be honest, it's the other side of the system to where I usually operate, so chances of me actually coming back here to destroy it are a bit small. But let's scan him down anyway and see what he is. Right, so that's disappeared off my D-scan, and I know exactly what that is. It'll be a mobile depot, because they disappear once I figure out what they are. Because as I say, I don't always go for these, because it means having to come back. And, yeah, it's not actually... Usually I would scan these down, but since I'm so far away from where I usually operate, I'm not going to be coming back here, so it's a little bit pointless me scanning that down. So we'll call drones back. We'll jump through to... where have we not been yet? Not been to... Newsar, I think that's how you say that one. So we'll jump in there and see if we can find anything else. It's going to be a lot of just jumping around and scanning. Yeah, I don't really have much else to say. I can tell you a few stories of when I've been blowing things up. There's only one time where I've nearly been destroyed whilst doing this, and that was a Cloaky Tengu had cloaked right next to his MTU, obviously waiting for someone to come and shoot at it, and as soon as I shot at it and became suspect, he obviously uncloaked and tried to grab me. But one thing I always do when I start attacking these things, just in case someone is cloaked or Joe is going to walk back to it as soon as you see someone's gone suspect and just presume maybe you're shooting at their MTU, is I go as close to it as I can at naught, and then turn all my prop mods and everything off, I turn around and I align to a safe, and I'll simply just slow burn out towards my safe. So if anything does uncloak or jump in, by the time I go suspect, I'm already aligned. I simply hit warp and I am instantly out of there, and that saved me. Well, only once, like I say, I've only once nearly been caught out, but I can imagine that eventually, especially when this video goes out, people are going to be leaving cans all over the place, just hoping that I'll come along and try and blow them up. But yeah, that can save you as well. So when you're taking on MTUs, not MTUs, mobile depots as well, I'm going to say for here. Remember that you do have to come back within usually about 2 days. Where's everything gone? Yeah, you have to come back within 2 days to blow it up. So remember that people may well be waiting for you when you come back. So they'll get a little notification saying it's being, put into reinforcement mode. So they could quite easily cloak up and just wait for you to come back and try and catch you. So something to be aware of. You don't go suspect for stealing drones. And you do not lose personal standings for shooting things in high second going suspect. You will, however, lose standings with certain corps. For example, if it's a player run corp, they might start marking you down, which isn't such a big deal. But if it is a NPC corp, the NPC corp will slowly start to reduce standings with you. But since I don't really see any point in having... Oh, I've accidentally moved to one of these, haven't I? Since I don't see any point in having standings with NPC corps, I don't really understand how that's going to affect me in any way whatsoever. I don't really have a problem with that. As long as my personal standing stays high enough, which, as I say, it doesn't affect, I am perfectly happy. So I'm just going to walk back to my safe free. I'm fully cloaked, probes are out. Let's see what we have in here. Yeah, that's probably big enough. Alright, so that's it for this system as well. We just got a few drones, including these Acolyte ones. And you're probably thinking, why am I bothering picking these up? And the bottom line basically is, it's not really wasting me any time whatsoever. I mean, I've already wasted the time scanning them down. I might as well simply warp to them and pick them up. I mean, yeah, I'm wasting a little bit of time now picking these up because there's nothing else left to scan. But generally, I can warp to them and I can pick them up while scanning. So it's just extra ISK. And like I said, since I run a corp which is aimed at new players, then these go in the hangar for them and they're welcome to use them as and when they like, because not everyone can use Tech 2 stuff or can afford the faction drone. So if you do want to get into a corp, by the way, simply message me in game, Disowned Hero, there I am, or send a corp invite to Disowned Heroes, not to this one, although you can if you want. This is a faction warfare corp I'm also running. Send it to Disowned Heroes and we'll get you in and trained up and stuff. Lots of cool guys we fly around with, so there's no excuse really. Lower tax rate than lower tax rate than the NPC corps, and we have access to like mining stuff, and we do cool outings. So yeah, if you want to get in, let me know. So that's everything picked up from here. Leave it with me, guys. I won't come back until I actually find an MTU, because it's not going to be too much fun just watching me collecting drones over and over and over again. So leave it with me, see if I can track something down. Alright, so it looks like I've actually finally managed to find one. I think this took, since I started recording, like an hour so far. I don't believe it's took that long. But we have managed to find one. Doesn't look like there's anyone else around it. So let's warp to that one, shall we? And see if we get anything tasty from this. Warp to that within 10. Call them back. There's nothing else here. And yeah, we'll make a safe on the way because I haven't actually made one yet. Like I said, this does vary. It's not an ideal way of making money. It's just the way I usually pass the time every now and then. And maybe I'm just lucky in the systems I go to where I literally jump from one to another, and every system has something in it. But this one does not. So I've made a safe. We're nearly there. I'm going to cloak up just in case. I'm not actually suspect yet actually, so it doesn't really matter too much. We'll cloak up here. I've got my D-scan open on my other screen. There is nothing within 14 unless someone is actually like cloaked up next to it. There it is down there. So do I have them under loot? I do. Alright, since I'm not suspect, I might as well turn that off. Get close enough to it. Lock the thing up. I want to be at 0. I'm not going to open fire on it yet. And that's in case there is someone cloaked. You see, I want to be aligned to my safe in order to get out, because I will go suspect as soon as I start shooting this. I'm also not going to deploy drones straight away. I'll wait for a few bursts of my missiles to go off again, just to make sure no one jumps out, because the last thing I want to do is leave my drones behind for someone else to come along and collect them. So just a slow burn. I haven't even activated this. Come on, pretty sure I clicked that. There we go. Just slow burning in. It's all locked up, ready to go. That's probably close enough. So I'm now going to turn around and align to my safe here. I'm going to take him a second to turn around. There we are. And I'm just going to simply open fire. There we are. And if anything uncloaks or anything here now right next to me, I'll just simply warp off to my safe. Doesn't look like there is though. I mean, if they're going to uncloak, they'll uncloak pretty much like right now. So what I can actually do is get my drones out on it as well. I've got a range of 15 kilometers-ish with these, so I can just keep slow burning out just in case someone else does warp in. I've still got D-scan up, although I've not actually hit it yet. There we go. There's nothing within 14, so we're perfectly safe just to keep going at this one. And it's pretty much dead, so I'm just going to turn around now. Still nothing on D-scan. I'm going to slow burn back to it and get ready to pick up the loot. Still keeping an eye on D-scan. That's hugely important because I'm pretty sure the guy will be getting a notification about now saying your tracked beam's under attack. So yeah, he could be docked up. We could just be waiting for this to collect the last of his loot, you know, when he was coming back. So D-scan hugely important. So we'll turn that off. So if I do need to get out now, I don't need to worry about me Afterburner slowing me down in the align times. Still nothing on D-scan. It does take a little while to pop these. It's not instant. Don't think you can warp in and like 1 or 2 shot these things. You have to stay here for probably a minute or 2 because they're actually taken down. Look at nothing. In fact, just looking at local, the person who was in here is now left, so perfectly safe. He was just habit just to keep hitting D-scan anyway. Perfectly safe just to take this out now. I can even feel free to stop my ship. And like I say, the good thing about being in a Legion as well, you can do it in like a Tengu, you can do it in any T3. Most people, especially in high sec, if they're like high sec carriers, don't like taking on so T3 destroyers and stuff, or cruisers. Just because the big mean ships which they can't fly and they're like a little bit misunderstood. So we didn't actually get anything from this one. We can bring over the killboard thing here. Absolutely nothing. So let's just keep going. Basically, that was a little bit disappointing, but I'm sure we'll live. Now, this is where the cloak comes in really handy. I really don't mind warping around these kind of systems while I'm suspect, because I do have a cloak, so the chance of me getting caught is very, very slim. And I am combat fit anyway. It's not like I'm traveling around in an Ibis, you know, doing this. If anything does try and catch me, I can quite happily try and defend myself. Should really reloaded them first, though, to be honest. So yeah, let's go see if we can find another one. If not, I'll just show you a few kills I've got from like the last few weeks, which have one of them has close to 100 mil in loot inside. So it's definitely worth doing this. Like I said, not every can is going, or not every MTU is going to be stuffed full of goodies, but it only takes one to make a little trip of like an hour and be worthwhile. Alright, so that's going to be the end of that one. I've jumped about 3 systems and found like 5 Tech 1 drones, which even I just accidentally put one in my drone bay. And I'm starting to give up now. It's getting a bit late. So sometimes if it's not with you, it's not with you. I don't usually roam around these kind of areas doing this kind of stuff. The idea of coming here was that you guys didn't know where I usually do this, so none of you can start being like, oh, Hero's usually here, let's set up an MTU and see if we can bait him in and catch him. All that kind of good stuff. A weird tingly noise. Anyway, yeah, so I didn't want you to know where I was going, but I'm about to show you some kills I've previously got anyway, so you're going to know exactly where I usually do this, so I'll have to just like find somewhere new now. So I'm not sure where I've shown you from, but obviously that's the one we've just got actually. This was the one from yesterday, so we got about 5-6 mil. Bear in mind, these are usually under the estimated ISK. For decent like estimates go to a Z kill, it'll always be a little bit more. This one here was what, 5 million. We then got this one for 17, which actually turned out to be 30, and then that one for a fact. The last time I'd done this before that would have been here, so I've done this for, I don't know, I've just popped a random one by the looks of it. Absolutely nothing in that one, so that one wasn't worth it. Another one here, this had 56 estimated ISKs worth of millies inside. So, yeah, did I actually get anything else that day? No, just popped the one and got 56 mil kill. Another little roam I did, so this is 44 days, 45 days, 46. So it looks like I'm doing one noon of one a day, yeah. So 2 mil from that one, 2 mil basically nothing in that one, 7 mil in that one, 2 mil in that one. I actually got a bounty on that one. That's quite cool. But yeah, pretty much nothing in that one. 3 mil in that one. Even got one of these things. I'm not for inside though. 98 mil. Actually, remember this one. We got 98 mil from that one. Oh, I didn't get 98 mil though. Got a nice amount from it though. 4 mil from that one. So there is money to be made. Even blew up a Vitaro. Not on my own, mate, but yeah. There is money to be made. It's just whether you're going to be lucky enough to actually find it or not. And once you find a nice area where you know people go, and you know, so there's usually MTUs there, or people have died there, and you can go get the drones and stuff, you can make a little bit of risk every now and then. But it's definitely a way of spending a bit of free time rather than doing it as a career. So that's pretty much all I've got to say on it. Just watch out if you do shoot mobile depots or MTUs, you will go suspect and people can attack you. Once they do attack you, you can also fire back, so don't forget that either. Taking drones doesn't do anything. Nothing affects your standings unless you're blowing up these from NPC corporations, and you'll lose a little bit of NPC corporation standing, but I really generally don't know what that does. I've never seen it have an effect on me, but your general standing up here is fine, and I'm still trying to gain mine up from when I last went to low sector blowing things up. But I'll get there eventually. So yeah, like I said, if you want to see any more of this, let me know. I'll go to my usual place and we'll see if we can get a little bit of XP in like an hour. And just going to leave it at that. So if you did like this video, then please hit the like button down below if you've not already. Then smack the subscribe button. Lots of cool new things going on here. New games being introduced. Hit the bell as well to get notifications. And as always, I'll see you right here very soon in another video. Bye bye. I think it's because of him I'm kind of winning on this side, to be honest. He did push him in the early game. It's allowed me to actually get me tech and stuff up. So let's just do a formation move. That'll make everything move a bit slower, so it'll allow everything to catch up. And they should pretty much be in range now. Basically, I want to straight away take this thing out.